Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute. January has come, it's here, new beginnings, new opportunities, new resolutions. But by now, you started to break those resolutions and the opportunities, you start wondering. January is also dark, dreary, dismal. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's rainy and wet and cold. But January also is the arrival of the fabulous bulb flowers. Tulips, daffodils, iris, I love them all. Years ago, I had a pin that I would wear starting the 1st of January, and it loudly shouted, "Welcome, happy tulip time." Now, I don't know where I ever found that pin, but I loved it. It was just a happy pin to wear. Now, all these years later, I've lost it. But today, starting January 1st, I put tulips on my computer, and my screensaver, it shouts out, "Happy tulip time." Bulb flowers are relatively short-lasting. Thus, as florists, we have to do everything in our power to make them last as long as possible. Key to that is to buy the freshest flowers. Now, that sounds simple and really like a basic theory, but what does fresh mean? In the case of bulb flowers, fresh means flowers that are so tight that their color is just barely showing or not showing at all. Buying them this tight will allow them to open out and be beautiful flowers and last as long as possible. With the tulip, you want to buy it with the color down low, below the foliage. The more it's tucked in, the fresher it is. In reality, you don't even need to see the bloom, because when they harvest, it's actually tucked down very low, closed up inside of the foliage. And then as it ages, the flower grows and the foliage reflexes backwards. The flower will actually grow the length of its head every single day. You know, that's hard to believe, but a tulip like this quickly will grow up like this, where the head is way above the foliage, and it was down here when I purchased it. I've been saving this one for several days to show you that difference. So the sooner that you grab those tulips, when they're very tight, closed in, and put them in the cooler, the longer they're going to last. Now, the next problem that occurs with tulips is that as they grow, they start to droop. They take on a life of their own. To help prevent that, I always process my tulips and leave them in their sleeve. Or if they don't come in a sleeve, I wrap newspaper around them so that while they're hydrating, I actually keep them closed in. This helps hold them together and upright so that you get beautiful straight tulips rather than droopy tulips that hang over the vase. Now, once they're hydrated, then you can open them out, enjoy them, let them begin to grow and relax and do their thing. Other little tricks with tulips. It is known that if you take a pin and pierce, just go straight through the neck, it will stunt the growing. Now, it doesn't stop it. It's still going to grow. So don't sit there and go, "Oh, well, that will stay forever." No. What you're doing is creating a wound, and some of the energy that would go to growing goes to heal that wound. So it slows it down. That way, if you're making an arrangement and you want the tulip to stay just there, you'll have a couple more days of that before it does grow outward and grow outside of the arrangement. Another fun thing that I do with tulips, as they get a little older, you have to wait till they've gotten older, softer, started to grow. You can reflex them, just popping the tulip backwards. Doesn't hurt it, doesn't shorten the life, and it changes the look so it becomes a whole different flower, almost like a poppy. Very dramatic and gorgeous. Daffodils you also want to buy while they're very, very tight, barely showing color, not looking like the beautiful flower it will become. Give them a cut, remove the rubber band, and set them down into a vase and let them begin to drink. Now, the one little caveat with daffodils is that they secrete a sap. And if you've ever looked, you've seen little icky clear substance leaking out the bottom. That sap actually kills other flowers. So when you first get your daffodils and you hydrate them, you want to keep them in a total separate container. Let them secrete the sap, let them drink in water. Then you can mix them after they've sat for a couple of hours. Then they'll be okay because the sap has dissipated. It's not as strong. It's during that initial cut, initial rehydrating, that it is really a deadly substance. It's not going to hurt you. It's not toxic, but it is toxic to other flowers. So always, always, always cut your daffodils, set them in a vase, leave them all alone. Then Leanne's theory, with absolutely no merit, but I firmly believe this, is if that sap is toxic to other flowers, it's probably not great for the daffodils either. So after 2 hours, I always change the water so that they're not sitting in their own sap, so that it's fresh water to keep them alive as long as possible. As for iris, I bet you can guess. Same song, different verse. Buy them tight as possible. You don't even need to be able to tell what color they are. Buy them tight, cut them, put them in water, and a day, the color will start to show. Several days later, you'll have beautiful blooms to enjoy. But what if a customer comes in when they're looking like this? It's not very attractive. There are tricks to open the iris. Key is to wait. If you try it on something like this, it's not going to work. It's too tight. Even these probably need another day before they're going to open out. But this one, just about perfect. Pull out the calyx and look how it starts to bloom almost instantly. Then to get it to totally open, don't touch the petals. If you do that, you might tear them. But tap it lightly over your finger and see how they all pop right out. Isn't that beautiful? Now it can mix right in. This one has already started to open. If I tap it a little more color starts to show. Doesn't shorten the life, just gives you vivid color to share with your customer. Bright and festive bulb flowers are the perfect complement to the Oasis Rainbow Foam. Pink, orange, purple, yellow. Also comes in many more colors, and doesn't it look fabulous? Now the easiest way to work with this is to start with it dry. And I actually take the vase and set it inside the bag, packing in the foam. That way it doesn't get all over. It's not quite so messy. Then once I have it in there, one thing you'll find is that it packs down when you add water. So I start by adding some water, letting it sink in. Then as it starts to go down, leaving a gap, I go back and add more powder. So it's powder, water, powder, till you get just enough, and then add your flower. Quick and easy, and oh so happy. Perfect for a January day. For more creative ideas and fun inspiration, check out our website, flowerschool.com. If you have questions, if you can't find rainbow foam, or if you've got a little bit of a concern with working with your bulb flowers, don't hesitate to call me or email. You can use my personal email. It's Leanne, Leanne, at floraldesigninstitute.com. Or if the phone is easier, pick up the phone and give me a call, 800-819-8089. I do really love to hear from you, so don't hesitate. Call me or email. So now, happy tulip time to you. Have fun and do something you love.